Thank you. There are questions. Can you tell us what is the Maastricht approach?
Yeah. The Maastricht approach is developed by Marius Romme and Sandra Escher. Marius Romme was a professor in social psychiatry, and Sandra Escher was a journalist, and they became a couple. Did meet a lot of voice hearers, both people who were patient and people who were never patient in mental health. And they developed an interview, the Maastricht Hearing Voices interview. So the Maastricht approach is that you conduct the interview with the voice hearer, that you make sense of what the voice hearer is telling you, and that's called the construct. And with the knowledge that you have from the relationship between the content of the voices and someone's personal history, you develop a plan to support someone.
Can you give one example, maybe the example you loved in your life?
Yeah. For example, a voice hearer, a woman, hears one very aggressive voice, and she is very much influenced by it in her daily life. She gets medication, she was in a hospital, and she got medication, but the voice is still there, and the voice is telling her to kill herself. So what we do is to do the interview, and we discover that this woman is 25 years old, and the voice is 45 years old, a male voice. So then we ask, why is this voice male, and why is this aggressive voice that tells to her that she should kill herself 45 years old? And then it becomes clear that she is sexually abused by a 45-year-old man long ago. The voice started when she was 14, 15, after she was abused by this person. So that knowledge is very important for her to know that this voice has everything to do with the sexual abuse. When we talk with the voice, that's another aspect of voice hearing. We discover that the voice is not wanting her to kill herself, but he wants that she becomes stronger, that she protects herself. Voices are very much extremist. They tell you that you should kill yourself, but they mean, perhaps, not always, that you should protect yourself, that you should become stronger, and that you should change from a weak person to someone who can defend herself against evil. Especially the talking with voices, that is now in a very big research project with 320 voice hearers in 4 different places in the UK. They get a treatment, and together with 3 other people, I supervise these therapists. So this is a phase where hopefully this treatment becomes available and proven to be an option. Of course, no treatment helps for everybody, but the expectations are not very big, but are good enough that we can offer this kind of treatment in a few years to many more voice hearers.
I'm sure you are convinced that it will work and that
No. I do this already 40 years, and I know that nothing helps every time. Some people are very fast, and I remember in the early days that I did the interview with a person, and suddenly she understood. Her voice stopped, and she said, "Thank you very much. goodbye, and years later I met her and she had a very good life and no voices anymore. But also, of course, voice hearers that are really troubled by the voices and who I can't help. And many voice hearers have a long history in psychiatry, and then it becomes very difficult to change that role. And that's where the hearing voices groups and the networks and helping each other, that's I think very important for voice hearers, not the psychiatrist.
Why do all psychiatrists around the world try this approach?
Why they don't do that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why do they give medicines or send people to psychiatrist hospitals that you all say it's not the right method?
They tell I'm too busy, I have too many patients, I have a lot to do. That's the and it's proven that medication helps, which is absolutely not. That's the reasoning, and it's so easy to prescribe someone medication, and 15 minutes later you have the other patient, and then. Yeah. But some are interested and try and do their best. And there are psychologists, they try to do cognitive behavioral therapy and all kinds of therapies. So that's okay. But yeah, I would wish that there was more for voice hearers, but it's all about money.
Why?
Having conversations with someone weekly, every week an hour for a year or maybe 2 years, that's expensive and consumes time. And most psychiatrists only prescribe medication nowadays. Not many psychiatrists want to be a psychotherapist, or some do, so it's not all negative. And what was said by Matt also, many professionals are afraid of psychosis, of voices, because they can be aggressive and rude, and it's out of your control. So medication makes you and me also very calm, but it doesn't solve the problem. Most of the problems have everything to do with what happened in someone's life. Sometimes 3-4 sessions it's okay, and sometimes long time. In the research project, I think we have 28 sessions within a year. Yeah. And that's too short, we know, for most people. And depends also how old someone is, how long. And most voice hearers I see have a long history. I want to see voice hearers that are 17, 18 and hear voices for a few weeks and then work with them. And then I think things can change, but I don't see them. They get medication and.
So it's a question of politics.
Yep.
And how could you convince politics to change the system?
Yeah.
How?
I'm retired, so I will not change the policy, but I work 3 days a week and I do things I think that are beneficial and ethical and perhaps good for people. Mm-hmm. That's my contribution.
Are you optimistic?
No. A little bit optimistic. In my opinion, it's important that peer workers take over in helping other people. But also there is, of course, everywhere where people work, things are about money, power, quarrels, fights, politics. So that's we like this project. Just listening is such a beautiful project, but they don't get political finances. It's just pure luck that Matt got this project, and as soon as he had that, then he could work out his ideas. But if he doesn't get funding from elsewhere, this project will not last, because he also needs an income. Communities have to pay workers like Matt for this kind of work, and send everybody here. That it's available for everybody, and I think that's important.
Thank you, Dirk.
Okay.
Add something?
No, this is enough.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Dirk.